working on these yesterday, um, and didn't finish them. I have a stack of stuff that, that's not it, that, backgrounds and stuff that I created. I did these just the other day, playing with some new paints. And this is one from way back that was actually a scratch pad. I keep things like this out to test things before I do it on my painting or drawing. And it was one of these. It was, what I used were the, what are they called? The tinted graphite pencils from Stapler, okay? And they're these rich, God, the colors they are dark, all right? I don't have a problem with that. They actually kind of create a mood, in case you can't tell. And I like them. And they're rich and just fun to work with. And I was just messing around with them, and it just kind of looked neat, so I kept pushing at it, and I saved it and took it to it a little bit further, and this is where I'm at. The only thing, I did a little work yesterday when you weren't here, and I just looked at it. I was thinking C, but then, me and my space. I'm sorry, every time I go live, how funny. I'm going to have to look into that psychological little nugget. Wow, this is actually working today. It's actually working today. Where did he go? This is a little darker than I wanted. I'm going to grab this little guy. This is exactly why I have this. We'll see. Yeah. I just gotta quit messing around with it. It's too small to mess around with. But won't I just keep at it? Not this one. This one. This is the better. This is the Uniball Signa. Or Signo, whatever it's called. What I need is something that's even finer point than that. I guess I'm getting weaker and weaker with my hands too. I can't get that lid off. I just kind of wiped out those things there. Oh, it's good enough. At a distance, at front, not so hot. These are quicker. So instead of painting this, I've decided to draw it. Oh, that's okay. I think you got a little out of hand. I almost cleaned my palette off last night, and I thought, don't do that. You might need these. And, son of a gun, I'm going to use them. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. I didn't turn my other phone on to see. Let's see, let's pick up my other... What's its name? I can't. Oh my gosh, where are you? I gotta switch counts. I have two brands. PopArtDiva and... Where are you? Hey! Where'd my other one go? There it is. And the Martini Diva. And There we go. There we are. So my live came right up. There. Okay. That was nice after yesterday. So, you know, I could have spritzed this. I put too much water in there, and I thinned that out, and I didn't want to do that. I'm hoping I don't have to mix that. Not a big deal, but I really don't want to spend the time doing it. This is why you might want to. I keep several pellets, not just one. Mixing pellets. And the reason why I do, yeah, I'm going to have to get in here. I have spritzed these poor things 3 times this morning. And they've dried out because I've gotten a call or had to do something and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was hoping to get started. I was in here 8 o'clock this morning and hoping to get started. And, you know, that didn't happen. Oh, whoops. That's okay. It's not going to kill anybody. Getting this nice dark brown here, mixing it in there. That'll work. Ah. This was a different... Oh my God. I just can't do anything right today. This little planet's getting smaller and smaller. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Now, this white pencil that I used, not watercolor. Not white pencil, excuse me. White pen. But it is water soluble. God, I am doing terrible today. That was supposed to be, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it didn't work out. I think that pen is too opaque for what for what I'm doing here. Interesting, I don't have white in here. That's buff. The buff titanium. I don't know if that's Winsor Newton or Daniel Smith. I like buff titanium. It's white. It's a less aggressive white. God, I'm doing it again. This is ridiculous. I swear. I just want to finish this stupid planet moon thing and be done with this. There. Leave it alone now. I'll get a little bit more white. That's kind of ruined now. I've got it so deep in there, I'm going to have to replace it. There. Didn't want that quite so dark. Now, this one's going to look better. This little planet turned out nice, except he needs a little highlight as well. What was that? Oh, this isn't working. I don't know what's in there, but I think he's turned to mud. There we go. Let's get some actual white out of here. I don't think you can see what I'm doing way down here. Oh, you can. I think this is working out. What I did was, the lamp that I bought just couldn't get me an angle that I wanted. So I got rid of the light part of it and put it off to the side and saved it because I have another lamp and another thing. And I'm just using it as a light, and I'm using this one here to hold the camera, and it gives me way more flexibility on this. All right. Now, what was I going to do? A little bit of extra brighter white. And I'm going to dot it in because I seem to have no freaking control whatsoever on anything else. Jeez, that scared me. Oh, my groceries are coming. Oh yeah, the code. Gotta have a code for groceries. They're so expensive now they have their own security. Oops. I'm sorry I shouldn't say it, but God. I tell you, I'm getting half the groceries for twice the amount of money. This just kind of got... This may not dry dark enough. I kind of want it to, but I suspect it may not. Now, I like that. Now let me grab a little bit of blue in here. That's actually a little bit of purple. Ooh, and I can grab this over here. Get it not quite so out of the box color. There. Now, this is how you keep your water from getting dirty so fast. I would, I had several sets of water dishes, and what I would do is take the dirty water dishes, as I would get up and have, you know, refresh my coffee or drink or whatever, and I would grab my dirty water dishes and take them into the kitchen and empty them out and rinse them. And now, if I'm not careful, this is going to leave a line. So what I'm going to do is dot it out and soften it up. I don't want to wet the whole thing. I'm pushing this paper as it is. Oh no, this is actually, that's right, this is halfway decent paper. That's why I'm getting away with this. This has got so many layers on it right now. Oh, there, now that's nice. That's very nice. Do I want to do one around this, or do I? Let's pull some of that out of there. Let me grab another. Where are they? Way back here. I bought these little guys for my Altoids tins, for these guys. And they're perfect for that. That's what this one is. I actually have, no, not for that. I have some smaller ones for the pillbox size ones. This actually will work in here, though, as a spare one. But this won't close up if I put it there. But when I'm working small, these are perfect. I don't have my glasses on. Hello, everybody. How are you? I think it says Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. And Osman Gomez Mateo. Okay. Hello. How are you? Thank you for stopping by and watching as I, you know, well, try to paint. All right. I want this, and I'm going to keep this as the white one. See how this is not really white. This is buff. All right? And probably I should have gotten white for what I'm doing here, but this does soften it up, and it's going to be perfect for this one. I'm just, oh, I hate doing circles. Just going to give him just a little halo here, okay? And then I'm going to quickly go through it. Well, you little bugger. This is not going to be too dark. It's very thinned down. It looks like it is now, but this will dry. Because it's very transparent, as can't talk, with as much water as I put into it. But it should have enough of a difference here to kind of create that halo effect. I'm trying to smooth this all out here. Get it a little bit watery. Grab some water, put it over there. Grab a little bit of this. Then it. I know, it seems almost like, is that even there? Is that even watercolor in there? Is that just, you know, what are you doing? But yes, you know, when you're working this small, you don't need much either. There. On a big painting, I would have made it a little darker and then gotten it first drawn a big wet circle of just water and then drawn the circle on there with more opaque paint, with more pigment, and then it would have bled in and created the whole halo for me. But this is too small to control that. This one's bugging me a little bit. And it's because the circle kind of got out of control. I'm wondering if I can. It's pencil, so I may not be able to. Yeah, I'll be darned, that pencil lifted. That is not watercolor pencil, so I'm a little surprised. But it may, what it may have, now wait a minute. I'm pretty sure it's not. No, it's not a watercolor pencil. These are brute fooders. I like them. I have a couple of full sets of, give me a second, Prismas. I've worked in Prismas for nearly 50 years, okay? I've had them from the not from the very beginning, but, because, yeah, I have to admit, the last sets I got were they're not quite the same Prismas, all right? They're not. But there's still a quality. There's still a high quality pencil. All right. And they're still more buttery than anything else. I know people might argue with me, and I'm used to them. And I've sort of adjusted to their changes over the decades, so. Okay, now, we need to mix a little bit more of this. Let me see if that's going to be too dark. I have to. Get a little closer. I'm going to have to control this myself. I'm not. Oh, well, let's put some little tiny guys in here. Fill these little spaces. Oh, you're not going to do it for me, are you? He's got a little wonky tip there. These are not the best brushes for detail work, but they work pretty good. I've had this one, I don't know, a couple, 2 or 3 years. And if you look real close at it, you'll see that end has that little curl that they all get, because we all tend to, all right, or at least I do. So the brush will take that curl, like a tree bends. You know, where you live, your winds come in at the same angle all the time. So a tree will bend in that angle, and so your brush will bend as you paint. I don't like him. I need I'm looking for a specific brush. Hold a second. Yes, I have these, but these are a little too big for what I want to do now. And they're too bright. They're going to be good for this, though, right? Is this the one? No. That's the not quite so good one. See, I want this for the center. See that? Or those softer. Like here. This is going to be the center of those little soft ones. Okay? And he's almost too bright. I might put a few in here. Oh, shoot. There, that's okay. I dropped him. He fell out of my... He actually did. He fell out of my hand. See how much more pigmented this is than the paint. Ah. Doggone it. It blopped on me. You bugger. Get this one to go with me. They do. It is water soluble, so I can. I was going to find my pen. The other thing this white does, no matter which pigment and which brand of paint I'm using, this thing lifts everything. Did you see that? Most of the stuff has gone over this. It doesn't lift the paint. If you keep working it, it will. I mean, they're not dyes, but when it dries, some paints have the ability for you to do layers. That means that you're not lifting the bottom layer. Okay, now this guy, I want the little center guy right there. What, are you going to be stubborn now? I have to be careful. This is right on a bump in here. There. And then I'm going to have a couple little dots on that, and just I may have to go over that with some orange. That might be too bright. But we need to get a few dots in here. You are just being a pain in the butt for some reason today, so I'm not going to use you anymore for those. I'm going to pop some on here. Not many. Some through here. Okay. I don't know why he's doing that. And one right there. I can tone them down if I want to. I just go over what light wash of the colors that they're on. But I'm not going to. I get caught up, even in little tiny things like this. I get caught up in the details. I think I'm going to do one more little hit of lighter. Let me see if that's light enough. Yeah, it's too light. There's nothing in it. Come here, you. There may not be much pigment in here. Maybe I need a little more. Let's try that. I want a smaller, because these are really tiny, and I need to find my brush. I tucked it away somewhere. Hang on a second while I grab my little teeny. There it is. There it is. These are liner brushes, but they give you these real tiny little. All right. Which is what I want. I'm going to fill this kind of empty space in a little bit. I could call it a black hole. Now I always put some on in the beginning and work over them, because then you get layers of the other colors over them, and then you get it creates they're further away, so it creates scale and a distance and perspective. See there, that one's way back there. And the brighter they are, the closer they are. Well, that wasn't real light. There. And I think this one, just going to pop in some of my little guys here over them, and I want them in here. I used to do these huge, 30 by 40. I wonder, I've got one up there. Maybe I can. I'll tell you what, I'm just about ready to close this live out, because these are done. Close enough anyway. And I want some real pale ones back here, shining kind of through this little aura or nebula, or not nebula, the atmosphere of the planet. Yeah, that's what that is. That's the atmosphere of the planet. Big atmosphere. But people don't live there, so they haven't eaten the atmosphere up. That's not political, is it? Need a little water. They're getting too pigmented. That's enough. I kind of like that empty space around him. This guy, I want just a few in here. The other thing I want to do, this bugs me down here. So, I'm going to, I could have gotten the pencils out. That's probably what I should have done. The staplers. But I didn't. And that's okay. I'll just use the paints. And here I am with the wrong brush, because it's in my hand. All right. Let's get the decent brush out here. I just think he's adorable. There's, oh, I wish I knew his name. There's a guy on Etsy who 3D prints these. And they're perfect. I mean, you kind of, you know, I wish you could get a couple, 2 or 3 of them in there. I'm a palette user. I do a lot of color mixing. Even with all the colors I buy, I still mix colors. I'm very weird about having exactly the color I want. Now come here, because I want this. That edge was just driving me nuts. I usually, and I didn't, because it wasn't going to be a painting, it was a scrap. And it was a scrap, and I just decided to play with it, right? I don't know how this happened, I swear. But my colors are all wrong. They are not in the right place. And there's not a yellow in this palette. I don't know what I was thinking of. I screwed up somehow. Or maybe I mixed it up for something special. I don't know, I can't remember now. But some of the colors are in the right. These 3 are in the, these 4, these 5 are in the right position. This is not turquoise there. There's the turquoise, and I think what I did was I switched these 2. But you notice that's not a yellow either. I have no idea what I did. None whatsoever. There's another uber turquoise, and here I'm back with this brush again. Let me kind of even him out there. More than likely, this whole area is going to be, if somebody in a frame, these are exactly 2.5 by 3.5. They are ATC card size. I know this is standing out here, but I like it, and I'm not going to completely change it. But what I am going to do, because these are the last, oh, see, and here's another one. These bug me here, but I just happen to have the color to take care of that. And I got really close to, of course, this is going to dry. And then we'll see if it's that good of a match. I'm diddling with this because I've got too small of a brush. I didn't change my brush. There. Oh, God. I have done that my whole life. I clean the brush, and then I stick it in my mouth and point it. I gotta stop doing that, because I still buy cadmiums and cobalts, okay? And they're toxic. I think I should tell my doctors, hey, I've been eating cadmiums. I have Van Gogh syndrome. All right. I think I want to do a little bit more here. I don't like that hard edge. A little more. Ooh, that's the purple. I don't want to bring him in there. There. And this one just decided to blow in here and make a strange shape, so I'm going to help it and make it stranger. There, like that. Like it. Now, I'm going to soften this and get some of that color. I used to hate greens, and now I have this thing. I still hate green. Grass green. Hate it with a passion. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I don't know why. I just don't like that color. But the olives and the forest greens and these deep, you know, phthalo greens, oh man. And they mix such great colors. Now, I'm going to, I need more. Why are you, oh, I swear. How many times did I spray these? Jesus. And it's dry. Well, I have the air conditioning and a fan running, so the air is very dry in here. There. I need more pigment. Okay. Oh. Need to thin that down a little. That's better. Now, I still like that color, but I'm going to tone it a little darker just by doing this. Yeah, they're rays, okay? Now, I'm going to take a little bit of this and mix it with that. Okay? And get myself sort of a, kind of a dead color. That's it. Perfect. Oh, shh, don't you do that to me. There. And we'll tone him right into that. Tone him in. There. We'll lift it up after I get it on there. All right. I don't like that big bar, but I'm going to lift it. And I'm going to do it with this guy. I never even got my porcelain palette. Well, I did, actually. I got it early. Where'd I go? Ah. All right. Now he's damp. Let's see if I can. Perfect. Okay. So if you make a mistake, if you're using watercolors that lift, then you can go in. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here, but you can go in and lift it. All right? This guy is too soft. You kind of need a little bit more stiffness in your brush to lift that. What could I use? I need it so delicate. I have an idea. Here. Instead of trying to lift it, I'm just going to paint it. There. Let's see. This is going to be too wet, but I want to see. It's not going to match, but that's all right. This is actually excellent. This is matching very nicely. Now I want a little more of that. I told you I'm insane. And a little bit of this. There. And then I'm going to do that. And just bring it out a little bit. A little more differentiation in there. Oh, God. Did they text me? Hold on. 12:53. Oh, he's late. Well, that's just in time because we're done. And I'm calling these Strange New Worlds. Yes, I'm a Trekkie. I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a Star Trek fan from way back in the day. I started watching when they first started airing in 1968, I think it was. And I love that new show. I love it, love it, love it. I love Ethan Peck as Spock, and I love Anson Mount. Okay, as Captain Pike. But I liked him in his other show, too. I can't remember the name of that Western one with the railroads. Anyway, that's it. Let me take you off. I'm going to show you something, and now I can't remember what it was. Anybody remember? I got to scoop that up. Oh, thank you for all the hearts. Hey, Cynthia, that's very nice of you. Okay, sorry. Would you get that out of there? All right, here they are. Get the light on them. Kind of an angle so you get a shot. All right, and then I will take photographs of them and tack them on at the end of the video. Okay? I have no idea what I was going to show you, but it probably had something to do with how I store all my markers. And okay, these are all paint markers, acrylic paint markers. These are ink pens, all ink based. They have different tips. More acrylic paint markers over there. My iced coffee. And don't look at my feet. More. I ran out of room. More pencils. One has a whole. There are 4 more trays, and then 2 more trays of pencils, and then 2 more trays of markers. Sorry. Took you on a tour, didn't I? All right, guys. That's it. We're all finished. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for the hearts. The Homeschool Club. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm glad you appreciate them. I was actually a book illustrator, and I did a lot of science fiction things. Thought I'd never want to do them again, but half the time when I do these abstracts, they just go into this. Even when I did landscapes, all of a sudden they became strange new worlds. They were boring to me, so I kept sticking planets in them. Go look at my TikTok. There's a couple of them in there that I was on Earth and I traveled. All right, guys, I gotta go. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.